Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. My wife just gonna have to hear me today. I'm not being out in that cold garage. Um, I do want to invite you over to www.bitedownboxing.com. I did some write-ups from Saturday night's fights, top rank on ESPN. I covered a few of the fights with an article or a fight write up. Also, would appreciate it if you help to support Bite Down Boxing. If you are into betting on sports, wagering on sports, use the link that was in that article, and I'll come back and put it here. But check it or consider betus.com, betus.com for for your betting needs. And if you use the link that I'm gonna put in here in the description, that would lead that would help to support the channel. If you use the promo code join 125 JOIN 125 using the link that's specifically for bite down boxing. So that's how that works. Hey man, I say this all the time. None of these networks are obligated to broadcast boxing. Sometimes you turn to ESPN2 or ESPNU, and they have the female the women's basketball games, and it's like NC State and Wake Forest or something. And how does this make it on the TV? But I think contractually, because they have agreements with these conferences, I think they're obligated to show a certain amount of the female sports. That's the only reason, though. That's the major reason why those sports make it on, or those games make it on to television. But nobody has to broadcast boxing. They don't have to. So, the card Saturday night with Conceicao and Xavier Martinez. What's up, Jelly Bean? Hope you had a great weekend, bro. Uh, it wasn't a good card. And I don't think I don't think it was ever going to be a high powered boxing card anyway. But I did expect to see a little bit more in the main event between Robson, Conceicao, and Oscar. Xavier Martinez. With Martinez coming over, I saw him have some great performances on Showbox. The 22nd knockout that he had on there. He was a Mayweather Promotions fighter. He was being marched along to be somebody at 130. He comes over the top rank. You have a chance to get in the mix. This was the WBC eliminator for the 130-pound division. It was supposed to be something. I thought it was going to be pretty competitive. I thought it ended up being a very boring fight. I'm gonna be honest. And I think even for people who are diehard boxing fans, when I tune in to an event at 6:55 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm sitting here watching boxing, and Saturday Night Live is on. We get into 1 in the morning, after midnight and whatnot. I've devoted 4, 5, 6 hours to watching boxing, and I need to see something that's compelling. And I think by and large, the main event really didn't live up to the hype, or to it didn't deliver. The co-main event was two guys who didn't even make weight, in Renee Tellez Giron and Cabrera. That fight, it was damn near unwatchable. And if it's two guys that were 5 pounds overweight, you don't even expect those guys to really be able to come in and perform anyway. So, something didn't happen right during training camp. So that hurts the game. That hurts the interest in the sport. When you put subpar fights on, or if it's matchups that the way the matchmakers thought they were going to play out and they don't deliver, it's just not a good look. Martinez rocked Conceicao early in that fight, third round, fourth round, or whatever, and then really never got a whole lot done, never really threatened to do much else the rest of that fight. Wide decision. Oh, well, I wasted my night. My interest, I told you earlier in the week when I was doing some of my lunchtime check-ins on boxing, my interest was on the ESPN Plus portion of the card. And I framed that with the fact that we were going to get to see Olympian Bruce Carrington, who was just 1-0, shoo shoo. Nico Ali Walsh, who they've kind of stepped back. He went in here against a guy who was 1-1-1. Delonte Johnson, he got bumped up to the ESPN portion of the card because of the people that didn't make weight. Haven Brady Jr. very early in his career, and then I said the thing that I was interested in was to see what the heavyweights were going to do. This is a point in time where the heavyweight division, it's a lot of activity there. But I told you I wanted to see what was going on with the progress for a really raw kid and Jeremiah Milton. Now, his opponent, I thought he was going to face Jason Bergman, who I was aware of and had some reference to what he was about. And I wanted to see how Milton would look against him based on what I saw from him against Trey LePay Morrison. We get to the fight night. That fight is scratched, and now Jeremiah Milton is facing some dude named Dale Long. Dale Long, 7-9-2 career-wise. He comes in there and does very little. Milton walked through him. I saw some good movement. He moves pretty good for a bigger guy. He was boxing a little bit to start, and then he was like, let me get this dude out of here. Like, he does not belong in the ring with me. And Dale Long was unable to really put up much resistance. So, all in all, it was kind of a wash for Milton, for his progress or his development. It really didn't do him any good. The weekends, I don't want to say Stephen Shaw that he's a loser for the weekend. I don't. Last fight that Shaw had, he came on and left a comment on the video and respected what I had to say, his performance against Pinchuk on NBC Sports Network. So if I was fair then, I'm being fair now. I try to be consistent. It's not a good sign when the on-air commentators, when they start trashing your fight, when they start complaining about getting bored. Hey, it happens. Like I said, you don't have to be on TV. Boxing does not have to be on TV. When all of this stuff lines up for you, when you get your opportunity to go out here and get some shine, you need to deliver. We're sitting here right now. If you look at Dillian White getting this opportunity against Tyson Fury. The purse bids and all that stuff is made public. Dillian White has a chance to make $8 million. Supposedly the last fight that he had, the rematch with Povetkin, I thought I heard that was like $300,000 or something was what his purse was. So you go from your last fight to making 300 bands to now a 8-point-something million dollar fight for the lineal title and the WBC championship. And now you're going to be on pay-per-view here in the States. I say all that to say, Shaw, in my opinion, if you're trying to get to that type of money, if you're trying to get to a situation where people could say that, man, he getting overpaid or he's being overpaid, like, you got to go out here and you got to get rid of a guy like Joey DeVecco. The last time that DeVecco fought in August of 2021, he was stopped in the second round by another 230-pound heavyweight, but some European guy that I'm not even aware of. So for you to sit here and go 8 rounds with this guy, it's just not a good look. I heard White is not worth. Exactly. Yeah, if it's 3, somewhere in there, I don't know all this stuff, what these guys get under the table, on the side, back end, whatever. But even though that was a rematch with Alexander Povetkin, that was a rematch. 300 bands is what I heard. So that's what I'm saying. When you have the opportunity to go from 300,000 or 500,000 to an $8 million fight, Stephen Shaw, you got to go in there Saturday night, and you gotta dominate Joey DeVecco. Now I saw the boxing again outside on the bounce, beautiful jab. He has a beautiful jab. Um, but once you show us the jab, like you got to put the rest of the fixings on the plate. Once you show us you can control the man, you came in from previously weighing in at 246 pounds or something, or in the 250s. Now you in here, you on Instagram. Hey, I'm 235, I'm 234, best shape of my life. Wonderful. Once you get to fight night, you got to give us some reason for guys like myself to be clamoring for you to get that opportunity. The work in the Deontay Wilder training camps. You got a bunch of different heavyweights online on Twitter. They're very complimentary of Shaw. They put stuff out there like Shaw's the future of the heavyweight, or the future U.S. champ. You got to do like Jared Anderson on your heels. But, to go out here, DeVecco, the dude is 258 pounds, stopped in the second round of his last fight, not much offense. Like, you can only box pretty and do the bare minimum for a couple of rounds. And then the expectation is that you get this guy out of here. You got to beat this guy up. You got to beat him up. And like I said, he controlled the fight with his length. He could move around for 5 or 6 rounds. His mouth wasn't hanging open. He wasn't tired. A lot of the times when he tried to throw the right hand, he was catching him right here. So he was off. He was off with that. And he really only tried to deliver the right hand in the same way all night long. But, hey, you got to take a risk. You got to get here and get inside with the guy, hit him with a shoulder, hit him with the elbow, get him off balance, create that opening, create that space, hit some uppercuts, beat the dude's body up. You got to do what you got to do to get to get considered for the $8 million. Like, what else are you doing this for? So I thought it was for that to be his top ranked debut. I don't think he capitalized on the opportunity. The main event was not the best main event in the world. So, it becomes your charge to like go out here and say, yeah, the fight card might not have been shit, but I did my thing. I went out here and had my career night. And that's what boxing, that's what drawing attention to yourself is. I saw one of the comments on Boxing Scene on their write-up of the fight. Again, you can check out my write-up of the undercard action at bitedownboxing.com. I'd appreciate you visiting the site and helping me out. But one of the dudes on there said that Stephen Shaw was one of the most forgettable heavyweight fighters he's ever seen. Now, we don't know who that dude is that said it, but it's not a good look if these types of comments are what we get in the aftermath, or, after you fought. You don't want to leave some idiot out here having the final say on you when you could have shined a lot better. So, like I said, man, I like Stephen Shaw. He's a dude that I root for. I want to see him get his shot. He seems to be a pretty good dude. He's given me some time in the past. He's come on here and done some live streams with me. I interviewed him a couple times. And I see the skills. I see the ability. But unfortunately, when you get these TV spots, you got to go on here and you got to deliver. You get a contract, multi-fight contract with the top rank. The one of the titles is over there, so there's a path in place for you to start heading in that direction. But you got to deliver. And I just think to be in there with Joey DeVecco, dancing and posing and taking pictures and holding the phone and getting on the bike and we don't really pay to see heavyweights, footwork and all that type of stuff. So I thought he could have done better. I thought he could have helped himself out. And Big Shot, I don't know if you come on and check out the video, bro. It's still all love for you. But and you got this, luckily the corner through the called the fight off in the eighth and final round, so that it does officially go down as a technical knockout. But man, you gotta be more creative and create that opening and get a dude like Joey DeVecco. I mean, the dude 260 pounds, man, can barely move around. You know, you supposed to be able to foot feint, throw some body feints. You supposed to be able to make, and I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, are you trying to counter the dude? Are you trying to get him to make a mistake and he's just not active enough for you to do what you want to do comfortably? But you got to make it work. Anyway, let me move on. Delonte Johnson against Xavier Madrid. You know, it was the kid's second fight. He got the victory, so not much to say against him. Haven Brady Jr. went the distance with this old Quinn guy. You know, you see what you got to get back to the drawing board and do. Carla Torres got the victory over Pink Tyson. Interesting that, you know, Top Rank had a women's bout on, and whatever. It was a lot of punches were thrown. It was good competition. You know, that's all I really can say about that one. Like I said, I thought the most impressive thing of the night was Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington. You know, he came out an Olympian, didn't medal or anything, but he's one of the guys that Top Rank brings in, along with Delonte Johnson or Tiger Johnson, Keyshawn Davis, the Torres kid, and that's a big announcement and a big accomplishment in itself. And these are obviously the next wave of talent that Top Rank brings in to try to groom and get behind and push as their stars of tomorrow. And I think I like what I saw to Carrington. You know, he did fight another kid who was 1-0. He was 1-0 coming into this thing, but you could very easily see the difference in class. You saw how physical he was with his opponent. Again, he was walking to him, walking through him, beating him up. And the finishing combination was just beautiful. Left hook, uppercut, left hook, left dude slumped over in the ring, in the corner and whatnot. So good look for him. He moves to 2-0 with his first knockout. And again, you make statements when you get out here. You take advantage of these opportunities. And now that gives Top Rank, that's a great highlight to put in front of. Like, Top Rank went out there and said it was a knockout of the year candidates. We just in February, tomorrow, knockout of the year candidate. Now it's bullshit, but it's something to say. They ain't gonna release no statement about what we saw from Shaw. If they're not second thinking, we maybe can't get behind this guy the way we thought we could get behind it. That might be what the discussion is Monday morning or Sunday morning. The Nico Walsh fight against Jeremiah Yeager. He improves to 4-0. I told you it was a good thing. I thought it was a good thing that they pulled him back from the ESPN cards and put him on ESPN Plus, let him do some work off to the side. They talked about him no longer training with Sugar Hill Stewart. The interesting thing is that they go in the ring with him after the fight and do an interview. Well-spoken kid, says all the right things. He threw the little Ali shuffle in there. Didn't mean much to me, but it makes some noise. Joe Tessitore loses his mind and whatever. He was fighting a guy who was not all that talented, not much of a threat. You saw some big shots from Ali Walsh. It looks like he showed a little bit more control. He still gets hit with a lot of big right hands and shots that, if it was anybody that had some power, if it was anybody that was really a threat, he might be in trouble. But again, this is a project. This is a project from him. Maybe it's a solid to the family. The old relationship with Muhammad Ali, obviously. And it's a chance for this dude to chase his dream. I'm not too mad at it. The newcomer, the light heavyweight, Dante Benjamin out of Cleveland, Ohio, I believe. You know, it was his debut fight. He gets a knockout of Herman Rendon. You know, not much to say there. I mean, you stop a guy who you should have stopped. Fight got a little sloppy. You know, the kid might have had some nerves going on or something. He gets the victory. And, you know, he got 2 knockdowns in the knockout. First round, you know, you don't let this dude sit in here, and if he doesn't belong to be in the ring with you, you don't let him be in the ring with you. So shout out to Dante Benjamin on getting it done. Again, man, this card, I said, man, boxing is hit and miss. It's up and down. You know, it's ESPN. They don't have a Showbox series where they send, you know, these development fights. So we all see it. And like I said, if people didn't care about the card, people didn't care about the fights, it was a developmental card. You know, you got to get these dudes some live action. You know, you got to let them get better at their craft, and you got to put them under the lights and let them do their thing. Unfortunately, when you're doing that, you know, people can get on YouTube and complain about it and say that the sport is in a bad place, boxing is trash, so on and so forth. So, like what I try to do here on Pay Me No Mind and Bite Down Boxing, I'm trying to tell you why some of these fights were important, you know, and I'm trying to tell you why some of these guys drop the ball sometimes. But like I said, I'm not sitting here saying that Stephen Shaw is a bum, or you know, I'm not saying his ceiling is somewhat limited. I'm just saying you might not get many more opportunities, you know, if you can't deliver when you're expected to. You know, they might go to Shaw and say, okay, well, bro, we're gonna give you F.A. Jogba next. You know, we're gonna put you in there with him. We still got a Jogba on the books. Get you in there with him. You know, you could turn around 2 or 3 fights later and they say, hey, we're not going to give you somebody above you, a couple of rungs above you. Get in here with Jared Anderson. You know, we can't keep feeding Jared Anderson Russians and Ukrainians and whatnot. We need something that people can relate to. Get in there with Jared Anderson, you know, and whatever. So you don't know what you don't know what's next for you. So you got to maximize this. The other thing, you know, only a couple minutes left for my lunch. You know, I had Ricky Ross, Freeway Ricky Ross on Saturday morning, and you know, he made a lot of statements, you know, and he's audacious in coming to the boxing game, and you know, he's confident in, you know, the man took buying some weed and some dope, some cocaine, and turned it into a $3 million per week business. Okay. Unfortunately, boxing is it's a million moving pieces. It's a lot of relationships you got to have. You know, he doesn't even, in streets jargon, he doesn't even have a corner in boxing. He doesn't even have any territory. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a mound to pitch from to do his thing here. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts and adjusts to not being able to call shots. Like you don't have a home for your fighters. You know, you just can't sit here and put a calendar together. And I'm not trying to talk the dude bad down that he's not here, but this is the reality of the situation. But what I was getting to was, you know, is it better to put your fighters out here on some of the local card shows? We got a card coming up in Cincinnati, Ohio, second week of April. The promoter reached out to me the other day. And one of the kid that was on the live stream with Ricky Ross happens to be from here in Dayton, Ohio. Should Ricky Ross be reaching out to that promoter in Cincinnati? Hey, let my guy get a spot on your card, and we work out how we gonna pay for it and all of that. And do you know? You got any access to stream it? You know, whatever. I mean, this is how boxing is gonna have to get done. You know, I was just listening to the Goodfella Cats video about, you know, they got $42 million for the white dude. But for Spence and Terrence Crawford, we can't get $20 million to get the fight made. Well, it's reasons why that's not happening. And it's really not a matter of putting money behind a white dude and not putting money behind a black dude. It's a little more complicated than that, in my opinion. But you know, people don't want to hear that shit. People just want to hear, you know, white people demand and racism and racist. People just want to run with that shit. But that's neither here nor there. Stephen Shaw, your name is Big Shot. You got to do your job, bro. You got to over deliver. You know, you still an underdog. You've been an underdog. You know, you've been in the game since 2013. You only had 16 fights. You got to you got to try to take control of your career and make yourself a hot commodity to get the machine behind you to get to that $8 million that Dillian White is getting ready to put on this ski mask and get whenever April 23rd or whatever. Anyway, I've stayed too long. Bite Down Boxing. Please check out the website, www.bitedownboxing.com. I want to hear it, champ. This is a business and they don't understand. Money Brown, you know what, you talk what I talk. You know, you bring up some of this stuff. You know what's going on, you know. We got some barbershop dudes out there, some other dudes that just sit here and simplify everything because that's what, you know, that's how you get those super chats. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, good to hear from you, bro. And I see you doing your thing and continuing to work your work at what you're working at. Let me get on out of here. Bite Down Boxing. Don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. My lunch is over and I ain't even get to eat anything. Peace.